All eyes are on the Knicks and what they're going to do this offseason. And they have a lot of decisions they need to make. What players are they going to bring back? What players are they going to trade? If they're going to sign Jalen Brunson to an extension, which, by the way, if they do that, that means Jalen Brunson leaves about $114 million on the table. And all the reports lately have Julius Randle in them and potentially him going out in a trade for the Knicks getting that star player that they want. But we haven't heard from Randle yet. We don't understand what Randle's future is in New York, and we haven't heard him speak about it until right now. Recently, he sat down and did an interview, and he gave us updates about his shoulder injury as well as his future with New York. We're going to break down these latest reports and so much more today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now and make sure you have notifications turned on so you don't miss a second of the new content. And now, let's get started. Julius Randle speaks out on his future with the Knicks. This is what we've all been waiting for. At least I have. I've been waiting to hear from Julius Randle, how he's doing with his injury, how he's recovering, but more importantly, what his future is with New York. And now we finally have that interview. Let's go ahead and roll the clip so you guys can hear exactly what Julius Randle feels about his future with the New York Knicks. Roll the clip.
How excited are you for New York Knicks basketball in the future?
I'm excited, man. You know, it's my 5th season being a Knick. And, you know, I was here when we was winning 15 games and, you know, we were coming, you know, scratching car from the bottom, you know, to see where we at now and, you know, understand, you know, the potential of our team, the opportunity that we got. I'm excited, you know, so you know, it just motivates me to, you know, head into the offseason and really get to work.
I got a question for you. How's that shoulder healing up?
Man, it's healing up great. You know, I spent so much time rehabbing before. I spent like 2.5 months rehabbing before. So when I came out of shoulder surgery, like I was recovering pretty fast. You know, all my muscles around my shoulder and stuff were strong. So, you know, I've been healing up great, but taking my time, obviously, you know, not in a rush. But I like where I'm at for sure.
I'm excited because of the potential of this team. I think that speaks volumes to me. Julius Randle and his future with New York sounds like it's extremely clear. He is not only going to remain here, he is going to be a big part of what we do here. I think I've said it in a number of videos already. Randle is part of the core. You have Jalen, you have OG Anunoby, and you have Julius Randle. That right there is the New York Knicks big three or their core. All the Knicks need to do is add to that core, but they have to add the right players, the right stars that fit Tom Thibodeau and also fit what this Knicks team is trying to build. Obviously, if you bring a star in that's really ball dominant and takes the ball away from Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle, you're likely going to hurt your team because those guys are better when they have the ball in their hands. If you bring in somebody else who's a high-level defender and can score when you need them to, but doesn't take away from the chemistry of what you're trying to build, that, in my opinion, is the right star. And if you look around the league, there are not too many people that fit that mold, but there is one, and he's one of our crosstown rivals. Well, he plays for a crosstown rival. He's not our crosstown rival. Mikal Bridges. He's the guy. He's the fit. He is the perfect fit for this Knicks team. Look around the league. We can talk about stars. We can talk about potential fit, all of that. If you talk about cost, you talk about fit, you talk about chemistry, and you talk about all of that being available under head coach Tom Thibodeau, you're talking about an NBA Finals contender each and every year. That's what Mikal Bridges adds to this team, and that's the move the Knicks need to make. We can look around the league for days. There is not going to be anybody else that would fit Mikal Bridges in terms of cost and also in terms of fit. And if you think about it, there is a world that exists where you can keep Julius Randle, OG Anunoby, Jalen Brunson, Dante DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, Isaiah Hartenstein, and also get Mikal Bridges on this team. Now, your bench, it may be a little suspect, but if you draft right and you add the right players, either through vet minimums or whatever the case may be, that might be all the Knicks need to push them over the hump And remember, it's about building an NBA Finals team each and every year. But I think at this point, it's absolutely clear. We all hear the reports. We know that teams are monitoring Julius Randle and his situation in New York. But you know what? It seems like they can continue to monitor it, but it won't matter. Julius Randle is a New York Knick. He's going to remain a Knick. He is going to be a Knick for what it sounds like many, many, many years. So I think we all need to come to terms with that and accept it. Now, I'm not saying he's never going to be traded, but the only players he's likely going to be traded for are the top-level, high-tier superstar players. We're talking about Giannis level, maybe potentially Booker level. And maybe with Booker, they don't even want to trade Randle. This is what we're talking about here. This is the value Julius Randle is continuing to give to this team, because no matter what you want to say to him, break down his numbers, break down his game. It's superstar level. If you have a superstar level player on your team and you're trading him, you need superstar level value back. If you don't get that, that trade will be seen as a failure. During the interview, Julius Randle also spoke about his recovery from that shoulder injury, and he said the following: I spent 2.5 months rehabbing before, so when I came out of shoulder surgery, I was recovering pretty fast. All my muscles around my shoulder are strong, so I've been healing up great, been taking my time. Not in a rush, but I like where I'm at for sure. That is a very encouraging update from our three-time All-Star Julius Randle, and that's exactly what you want to hear. And it sounds like all of that rehab he was doing, trying to come back, but unfortunately not being able to make it back, it was not all for nothing, because it seems like after his surgery, all of that strength and conditioning training that he did to that shoulder, it's now helping him recover faster because the muscles around his shoulder are so extremely strong. And you have to understand that as well. This is Julius Randle we're talking about, a physical specimen. Nearly everything he does with the full extent of his body, and he makes sure he pushes himself beyond all of his limits. That's why he's so strong, and that's why in the paint, nobody can push him around. Bully Ball Randle was amazing this past season. And if we get to see it again with a fully healthy Knicks team, that's why I'm so excited, guys. That's what gets me hype. Thinking about what this team could look like with a full training camp underneath their belt, building up more chemistry. And then you have Julius Randle, healthy, looking good. Jalen Brunson, healthy, looking good. OG Anunoby, finally looking healthy and good. All of them together with this Knicks team, it is going to be a magical sight. If you thought this past season was an amazing season, you haven't seen nothing yet. We were robbed of what an amazing season should have been because we didn't get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Next year, we are getting all the way there and beyond because we have the roster when fully healthy to go toe-to-toe with anybody. And if we make the right upgrades this offseason, which I believe in Leon Rose in this front office, I believe they're going to do that. If all things go well, we're talking about a Knicks team that is running through the league each and every game. We're talking about you turn on your TV and potentially you could see a blowout courtesy of the New York Knicks. But it's extremely great to hear about Julius Randle and his recovery from shoulder surgery because it sounds like everything's going well. He's recovering extremely fast, and hopefully that means he will not miss his offseason routine. We know what happened last year when that happened. He did not look right to start the season. If he can go through his offseason routine this year and then go into training camp with a full camp underneath his belt, no issues and no obstacles, hopefully that means he has a good start to the season and he continues that all the way to the postseason. Jalen Brunson, I'm never worried about, but he did get surgery on his shooting hand. Because of that, I need to wait and see him play, see how he looks, and hopefully he has no issues with that hand, no issues shooting, nothing like that. I'm going to have to wait and see with him, but hopefully it doesn't sound like it's anything too severe, so he should be good as well. OG Anunoby just sounded like he just needed rest. He's getting a lot of that right now being on vacation. Hopefully he's fully ready to go once the Knicks start training camp. We need this team fully healthy, everybody involved in training camp, because if we get that, we start off the season right. We start off the season right, we could end up being the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference because we have the team to do it. We have to start putting some respect on who this Knicks team actually is, the players that we have on this roster, and the moves we can still make. This Knicks team, when healthy, is a contender. We need to treat them that way, and we also need to talk about them that way. And contenders, they can start out the season hot and potentially take the number 1 seed. And that's why I'm talking about the Knicks team like this. Next season, when healthy, watch. Watch what we do. Watch how we run through the league, because that's exactly what's going to happen. And Julius Randle, he's going to be a major part of that. But what about you guys? What do you think about Julius Randle and his comments about his future with the Knicks and also his recovery from surgery? Let me know in the comments below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knick fans. Peace.